Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at Voyager Moana from the Moana series. The ability description for Voyager Moana is clears a horizontal line of Tsums, and I'm currently playing Voyager Moana at skill level 1, so the skill range is going to be extra small. So let's get into her stats. In order for you to activate her ability, you will need to clear a total of 17 copies of her on the screen in order for you to charge up her ability bar. The minimum score is 130, which is kind of on the high end for a minimum score, and the maximum score is 914. It's nothing special here. Probably the pastel Tsums are going to be better for this one, but if you want a Tsum that's very fun to use and good for missions, Voyager Moana could be that Tsum for you. If you do want to get Voyager Moana to skill level 6, you'll need to get a total of 32 copies of her in the premium box, and every single time you level her up, the skill range does get a little bit bigger. So let's talk a little bit about some of the strategies you would use when you're using Voyager Moana. So what you want to do is, as soon as her ability gets charged up, you want to activate it right away. One cool thing about Voyager Moana's ability is that during her animation it doesn't freeze. So what you essentially want to do is just activate her ability as soon as possible, because that way you get additional abilities charged up into the next ability. Moana is going to be good for combo missions. As you can see, every time you activate her ability, her little fingers will come out touching the water, and each of those finger pops, or the little numbers 1 that pop up, represent one Tsum that gets popped, and they're considered one combo. So if you ever get one of those missions where you have to get a high number of combos in one play, then Voyager Moana could be a good option for that. Especially if you are still trying to get through this month's mission, Voyager Moana is a good Tsum for one of those missions. Another strategy that I have for you guys is, if you are playing with the gyro on, what you want to do is tilt your phone to the left a little bit, and then after that you want to straighten it up right before the second animation takes place. And if you take a look at it closely, there is actually 2 parts to her animation. The first part is Moana touching the water, popping a lot of singular Tsums, and then a horizontal line gets popped. So before the horizontal line gets popped, you want to straighten out your phone, but you do want to turn on gyro and tilt your phone to the left during the animation where she is touching the water, popping a lot of singular Tsum. The reason for that is, as you could tell, that the singular pops are not necessarily straight, they're diagonal, slightly starting from the top left corner to the center middle area to the right. So by using gyro, you might be able to optimize it and get a couple more pops in there, increasing your combo. So that's the strategy that I have for Voyager Moana. Now what I want to show you guys is a side-by-side comparison of Voyager Moana at skill level 1, 2, and 3, and really show you guys what the differences are between the 3 different skill levels. So let's take a look. The major difference here is that the skill range is different between the 3 different skill levels, and really that's the only thing that's different. Skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small. Skill level 2, the skill range is small. And finally, for skill level 3, it's a skill range of medium. And I would say the strategy is the same between all 3 of the skill level. So what you want to do is just charge up as quickly as possible, and then activate the ability once the bar is fully charged. Don't worry about trying to optimize where the Tsums are in this case, because like I mentioned earlier, the screen doesn't freeze. So what that means is that Tsums will continue to fall even during animation. Not too many Tsums have this ability where the Tsums will continue to fall, and Moana, or Voyager Moana, is one of those Tsums. So right now the gameplay that you're watching is a gameplay where I'm not playing with gyro on. So as you can see, you're still going to be able to get a decent amount of combos in the center area even if you don't play with gyro. You can still get good results even if you don't play with the gyro on, so don't feel like you have to try to play with gyro on, because sometimes if you are playing like laying down or sitting sideways on a chair, you're not going to be able to optimize gyro because it doesn't fall as quickly as if you were playing with gyro off. So there are some trade-offs when you are playing with gyro on and gyro off. So let's actually also take a look at the animation. I think the animation often gets overlooked. So it's pretty cool that Moana is sailing, touching the water, and then there's like a manta ray that flies across the screen, which is causing the horizontal clear. And if you take a look at the animation, I think that the top part where the clocks are, and also the bottom area where the fever bar is, there's also some tattoos there and some markings there. So I think those markings are pretty cool as well. And I think that that often gets overlooked. So hopefully you guys could take a look and then appreciate the graphics that are designed by the game makers. Okay, now let's get into the ability and really break it down by slowing down the animation so we can break it down piece by piece. So like I mentioned earlier, there is two parts. The first part is Moana touching the water and popping bubbles individually. So here you could see that there doesn't really make a big difference here. So between skill level 1, 2, and 3, the singular pops are all the same. So when it comes to the skill range, even if you get them to skill level 6, this first part of the animation is going to remain relatively consistent and it's not going to change. So you don't have to worry too much about this first part. Like I mentioned, this first part, you definitely should try to play with the gyro on and tilt them to optimize the clear range. But this part is going to be the same between skill level 1, 2, 3, and all the way up to skill level 6. So let's resume here. So the next part is Voyager Moana, then making a horizontal clear. So this is the part where it's going to make a difference between the sizes. As you can see here, skill level 1, you get a thickness of maybe 2 to 3 rows, but for skill level 2, you clearly see 3 to 4 rows. And then at skill level 3, it's pretty dense. You see anywhere between 3 to 4 rows worth of zoom, sometimes even 5. So definitely at skill level 3, the thickness of that horizontal clear is a lot thicker. And it's very clear that that's the part where it makes the most difference. So yeah, like I mentioned, skill range wise, it doesn't make a difference for that first animation, but it's clearly seen at the second part. So let's continue here. After you pop them, you can see that for skill level 1, I got a chain of 19. Skill level 2, I got a chain of 23. And then finally for skill level 3, I got a chain of 27. And these numbers are very achievable. I didn't have any big zooms in any of these pops, so if you are playing Voyager Moana at skill level 1, 2, and 3, you definitely could get the same chain outcome as I did here. So overall, I think Voyager Moana is a pretty good zoom to use for abilities. I don't necessarily think that it's amazing for coins, but it could be good for a beginner, but it's not a zoom that I would necessarily recommend individuals to try to go out and get because it's not necessarily super amazing. And at the end of this gameplay, Voyager Moana at skill level 1, I got a total of 1,459 coins. For skill level 2, I got 1,659. And finally, at skill level 3, I got 1,797. So as you can tell, the coin earnings is okay, nothing too amazing. It's actually pretty good at skill level 1, but not necessarily super amazing at the higher skill level. So that's pretty much it for Voyager Moana. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you guys would like to support this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching.